Good afternoon. I, Dr. Swapna Jerikunte, Assistant Professor, Department of SWASTHAVRITTA and Yoga, welcome one and all to the webinar on the occasion of World Health Day. The establishment anniversary date of the World Health Organization is 7th April. WHO theme for 2021 is Building a Fairer, Healthier World. Ayurveda as a part of holistic approach offer the concept of Achara Rasayan and SADVRUTTA, that is good conduct for the self and for society, as like WHO theme for this year. Lifestyle diseases are elements that are primarily based on the day-to-day habits of people. Habits that detract people from activity and push them towards a sedentary routine. It is the origin of health issues which can lead to chronic non-communicable diseases that can have near life-threatening consequences. Swift changes in lifestyle leads to shift towards non-communicable diseases. Hence, we have this topic, Sadvritta and Aachar Rasayan, as a preventive measure for lifestyle disorders. Before we get started, be ready for prayer.
नमाविधनुवन्तरिमादिदेवं सुरासुरैर्वन्दितपादपद्मं लोके जरारोगभयमृत्युनाशं साकारमीशं विविधौषधीनाम्
Now, I would like to call Dr. Sulakshana, HOD, Department of SWASTHAVRITTA, for welcome address.
नहीं सर हमारे तो एक्चुअली तब करंट लाया था ओरिजिनल आया ना तो ओरिजिनल नहीं हुई पास ओरिजिनल तो मैं यूज कर रही ये वाटर ना
Thank you, Swapna. Good afternoon, one and all. 21st century, a century of science, brings a lot of revolution in human life. The researches in various fields make life easy and offer higher standard of living to all. But every coin has two sides. Bright and attractive sided, this century also have dark side, which falls the human in attraction towards materialistic culture. Today's human often interact with machines. These save a lot of time but create laziness, depersonalization of human, interpersonal and social relationship, diminished quality of life, and affects physical, mental and social health, which leads to various lifestyle disorder and mental ailment, etc. Faith in science instead of religion is a great problem facing the people in this decade. They want scientific explanation for everything, but always ignore the science behind every religion for achieving health. Today, we are very fortunate to have such an eminent versatile personality who always give prime importance to our culture and religion. He is an artist, he is a musician, he is a great philosopher, and being an Ayurveda Vaidya knows the science behind all these to achieve healthy health. I, Dr. Sulakshana Zaibhai, Professor and Head, Department of SWASTHAVRITTA and Yoga, welcome the great person in the world of SWASTHAVRITTA, Dr. Arpan Bhatt, Professor and Head, Department of SWASTHAVRITTA and Yoga, Shri Gulab Kaurba Ayurved Mahavidyalaya and ITRA, Jamnagar. Welcome, sir. Our beloved Dr. C.H. Babaria, a person who is a very enthusiastic and well experienced in administration. He works very hard in a harmonious way and changed the face of institute within a short span. His way of positive thinking and samadruttita towards all inspire us a lot. We are enjoyed working with him for the betterment of this institution in all aspects. Heartily welcome, sir. I also pleased to welcome everyone in this webinar on the occasion of World Health Day. Welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I request Dr. Sanjay, Associate Professor, Department of SWASTHAVRITTA, for introduction of today's guest speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Swapna. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Arpan Bhatt, sir. Professor Arpan Bhatt is BMS MD Ayurveda, PhD. Apart from field of Ayurveda, he has also pursued a degree Sangeet Visharad, BA in music. He is a professor and head Department of Sadvritta and Yoga at Sri Gurab Korba Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya Jamnagar, and also a chairman of Drugless Spiritual Healing Center and Health Counseling Center of Department. He has rendered his services as the first Deputy Director of Institute for Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, ITRA, Principal of Sri Gulab Korba Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Director and Principal of Maharishi Patanjali Institute for Yoga, Naturopathy, Education and Research, Project Director, Department of Projects and Program Director of Advanced Center for Yoga Education and Research at Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar. He is a member of Governing Council and Academic Committee of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, New Delhi, a member of Assessment Committee of Yoga Certification Board and Executive Committee of member Gujarat Yogasan Sports Association. He was a member and convener of Board of Studies at Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar, in the subject of SWASTHAVRITTA and Yoga. He was national as well as international jury for My Life, My Yoga video blogging contest held in 2020. He is an adjudicator of PhD thesis to various universities and a member of the advisory committee of many leading institutions like Center for Yoga Therapy, Education and Research, Samutkarsha Academy for Yoga, Music and Holistic Living, Leelavati Nature Cure and Yoga Research Center, and many more. He is the author or co-author of 17 publications and 35 papers, as well as guided approximately 60 applied and clinical research dissertations. He is a referee and viewer in IU International, a peer-reviewed and listed magazine published by IPGT and RA Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar, and has been review editor for Yoga Mimamsa, Kevaladam, Lonavala. He has visited Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on invitation from the Minister of Health, Brazil, for delivering guest lecture at the International Conference Congrepix 2018. Lisbon, Portugal, on invitation from the Portuguese Yoga Federation for promotion of music and yoga at World Yoga Day 2013, and some places of United Kingdom for promotion of Indian music and arts through Indo-British Cultural Exchange in 1988. He is a life member of Indian Yoga Association, Academy for Ayurveda Development and Research, Indian Musicological Society, Alar Vaidya Sabha, etc. organizations working towards the preservation and promotion of Indian society, arts and culture. Today, we are honored to have such renowned, dynamic, multi-talented and experienced personality among us. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Arpan Bhatt, sir, to start the presentation. Over to you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So you can see me as well? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. You can share your screen.
Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible?
No, sir. Yes, yes. Now screen is visible.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank the Institute for inviting me, and on behalf of the Institute and the University, I would also like to thank a very near and dear friend of mine, Vaidya C.H. Babariyaji, who happens to be holding the seat of the director over there. Namaskar to everybody. And also I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me on this very special occasion. So before we start the deliberations today, let us chant two prayers. I know we have already done almost 3/4 of a prayer, but we'll be doing two prayers. So may I request all of you to be seated straight in your places. If you are on the chairs, kindly unlock your legs and keep your back straight and head straight. Make a Gyan Mudra of your fingers and place it on your thighs. Close your eyes and try to focus on your breathing. Just see how the breath goes in and how the breath comes out. Focusing on your breath, try to concentrate between your eyebrows. Try to breathe in as deep as you can and breathe out as long as you can. Now, if you are settled, try to focus on the statue of Lord Dhanvantri or on the presence of Lord Dhanvantri between your eyebrows. And we shall chant the prayer. All the people who are with the science of Ayurveda mostly would be knowing the prayers. So you can chant along with me if you feel like. Ragadirogan satatanushaktan asheshakaya prasrutan asheshan autsukya moharatidan jaghana yo purva vaidyaya namostu tasmai. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly releasing the mudra of your hands. Bring the palms together, rub them with each other, make a cup of both the palms, place them on your eyes, and then slowly moving the hands on your forehead, on your head, on your neck, shoulders, on the chest, on the flanks, on the body. Peacefully and gradually open your eyes and come back to this mundane world. You can see this picture on your screen, which talks about the title of the presentation I am going to make today, or I'm trying to make today. Sadvritta and Aachar Rasayan as preventive measures for lifestyle disorders. And then beneath that title, there is a name written of the person who is talking before you, who has already been introduced and is not at all so much of importance. But the building which you see on the picture, that happens to be my mother. The building happens to be known as Dhanvantri Mandir, and it is where the Gulab Kumarba Ayurved Mahavidyalaya is situated. This is where Gujarat Ayurveda University started. Far back in 1946, this college started. It has cradled me, it has made me able to come and try to talk something before you, just as I am trying to do today. So, with reverence and respect towards my mother institution, I'd like to start the day. Today, as we all know, is 7th April, and it was when the constitution of WHO was put into practice, and that is why, in order to commemorate that particular event and to make everybody in this world always aware that health also happens to be an important aspect of our life. World Health Day is being organized and it is being celebrated throughout the world. Now, health, wealth, prosperity are always the things for which the people are moving towards. And therefore, if health is not there, then the things which we can do will have an issue. Particularly this year, 2021, we all know we have passed through a very rough phase in 2020. So the theme of this World Health Day 2021 happens to be building a fairer and healthier world. Now there are two words over here, fairer and healthier, and somehow they both coincide with the title selected for the talk today. We know that our science talks about Purushoyam Loka Samhitaha Siddhanta, where it says that the external world and the internal world are replica of each other. Just as the things happen in the external world, the things happen in the internal world, and the sun and the moon and the wind, just as they take care of the external world, it takes care of the internal world also with respect to kapha, pitta and anila or vata. Yat pinde tat brahmande. Now this makes it very clear that just as there is a diurnal cycle of day and night, and just as there is one circadian rhythm of the universe which makes different seasons, etc., there is one circadian rhythm of our body also. And as per the findings of the science, according to the different timings of the day and night, our body reacts to those aspects and different changes take place in the body. Now, it is the changes related to the conditioning of the body, the secretions of the endocrines, the secretions of the hormones, the activity of the muscles and other tissues in the body. They all are focusing on the changes happening into the world surrounding us. And depending on that, of course, It also depends on one's prakriti or the constitution also, and the availability of the chances and opportunity that one's occupation will be decided, one's day-to-day routine would be fixed, like some would be getting up at 4 a.m. usually without any problems, and some others would be getting up at 6 a.m., some others would be getting up at even 10 a.m. It depends. But then again, depending on the prakriti, depending on the occupation they are in, depending upon the requirements, these things are happening. Normally, naturally, if we go to bed relaxed, and if we can recollect the timings, we will see that somewhere around 2:30 a.m. in the morning, I am talking about India, I am talking about Gujarat, I am talking about the place where I happen to be living since past almost 41 years of my life. So somewhere around at 2:30 a.m., the birds will start chirping for the first time, and then they will become silent. Then again, somewhere around by 4:30 a.m., again the chirping will happen. This means that their diurnal cycle, their circadian rhythms are going with regards to the changes in the environment occurring in surrounding of them. Likewise, in humans also this happens. And that is why our classics have also taken a note of that and described something in the topic named as Dinacharya, where it has been stated as to a person should get up somewhere around before sunrise, and that is at Brahmurt, according to Maharishi Vagbhat. Today we talk of evolution, and this picture, though it shows evolution, but it also puts a question mark that whether it really has been an evolution. We see that we started with a crooked back, and today, despite of what Dr. Sulakshanaji stated, and even Dr. Jerikunte also stated, that despite of so much of advancements in technology and gadgets and everything, we are going to end up somewhere with the crooked backs. So is it really an evolution? The world has become small. We know, Karlo Dunya Mutti mein, we have done this world we have taken it in our fists. We can carry our whole world wherever we go. Somebody even carry it to the bathrooms when they are going. So the world has become really small. But the people have gone far. That means the humane touch between a person to person, and a humane touch between a person and the work and the thought is somehow decreasing, if not missing today. Life has been on a turmoil. Since from the childhood, man has been running after mastering so many traits in a given time. You know, a mother wants her child to be a sportsman, an excellent orator, a wonderful artist, and a top-ranking student, and maybe a computer wizard, and having 100% memories and God knows what. Okay, when I said mother, even father also we should count. But the parents in a whole. So what happens that a child, even before it understands what actually normalcy is put into a vicious cycle of running behind different competitions and greeds and different such factors. And what happens, ultimately, no time for one's own self. Even the kid doesn't have a time for one's own self, because by the time the day ends, the kid is so tired that it sleeps wherever it can. What we all are trying to do is we all are trying to squeeze the time we have, because We want to mount on so many horses at the same time. And because of that, what happens? Because of that, one common thing happens, and that is that increase in population has taken place, increased life expectancy is already there. Okay, there is somebody wanting to ask something. Increased life expectancy is there. Deteriorating qualities of foodstuff and adulterations are there. Environmental pollution is there. Increasing stressors, competition, peer pressures, just as what I was talking about some time back. That there is a lot of competition, unwanted competition. In business, there is competition. In profession, there is competition. In life, there is competition. Between the neighbors, there is competition. Even in one house, there is a competition continuously going on. Peer pressures are increasing. Lack of health consciousness and self-responsibility has come. Agitated minds, today we see that all minds almost are agitated. Dissatisfaction rules. Greed has increased, and at the same time the resources have been limited. And let me tell you, day by day our natural resources are decreasing, and if this goes on, maybe we will be suffering a great loss. And then limited funds too. So all these issues are there which are adding up towards what I stated earlier. And the result is that endeavor to cope up everywhere results in stress. These stresses can be very different from person to person, from occupation to occupation, from place to place, from time to time, from house to house, from profession to profession. Actually, if we keep ourselves on to our instincts, our lifestyles would definitely be healthy. You know what will happen? We would be following the nature's call for getting up in the morning, then doing the things accordingly, then eating up what our inner self feels like. I am not talking about satisfying the taste of the tongues. So usually our lifestyles would be healthy enough. But what happens that there are so many things to think about that unfortunately the easiest thing to forget about was thinking about our lifestyle. So what happened, our healthy lifestyle, because of those stresses and pressures and problems, turned into unhealthy lifestyle. And because it turned into unhealthy lifestyle, then it started affecting the systems of the body in different ways. And because it started affecting the systems of the body in different ways, there came the risk factors of lifestyle diseases. You know, we can divide these risk factors into two aspects. One aspect is the uncontrollable risk factors, just like age. You know, we cannot control age. If I am 57 half now, I cannot become 2 years old if I want to. So heredity, we can't change. Ethnicity, we can't change. Our gender, okay, nowadays gender changing operations are taking place, but still the gender, you can't change in majority of the cases. And then there are controllable risk factors also. Which are the controllable risk factors? That is the physical activities and inactivities. So you have a choice where you can decide to be physically active or physically not to be active. You have a choice with regards to your diet, whether what you want to eat, what you do not want to eat, how much you want to eat, how much you do not want to eat. And then the substance abuse or the unhealthy habits, because whenever a person is on a substance abuse, every person is knowing that this is not good for health, but still they are unable to stop. Sometimes this is related with the psychological conditioning of the person. Sometimes it is related with the stressors. So they are trying to find an escape out of it. But yes, so those unhealthy habits, it is not only the substance abuse, It is also related to one's behavior. It is also related to one's diet. It is also related to one's physical activities, etc., etc., and also the religious and spiritual aspects. So the uncontrollable risk factors are such where we cannot do much. Of course, with good genetic engineering, maybe in the coming generation, some changes can be made. That is what the Garbha Sanskar concept of Ayurveda talks about, and even the yogic aspect is also there, where we can also talk about the genetic engineering and where the world has been looking forward to today. But controllable risk factors are such where we can control literally the risk of those factors. So now what happens, that just as a tree grows offshoots from one small seed, in the same way these risk factors are hidden under the soil of our health. And when these risk factors are there, they slowly germinate, and when they germinate, they give rise to different disorders like respiratory disorders or cardiovascular diseases or diabetes or cancer or other non-communicable diseases. NCD is what we call about. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report that the key factors influencing an individual's state of health have not changed significantly over the past 20 years. Oh, it's not a small period. And I would say even beyond 20 years, the quality of the medical care over there matters only 10%. The heredity accounts for 18%. The environment is responsible for 19%. But you see this, everyday lifestyle choices are 53%. So if everyday lifestyle choices are not chosen wisely and followed wisely, the level of wellness and the level of health of a person would always be put at a stake. Not only that, if you see the curve which you see in the top image, the red one, it shows how the cost of lifestyle related disease is gradually increasing from 2000 onwards. And the map beneath shows the burden of lifestyle diseases in different countries of the world. So now we can understand that wherever there is a human, there is a possibility of lifestyle related disease, because one is going to err in following the good lifestyle, and erring or making a mistake once does not count. But once we like doing that mistake over and over again, it becomes an issue, it becomes an habit, and once it becomes an habit, it definitely will result in a problem. The top 5 causes of death worldwide are cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, cancers, diabetes, and stroke. This is what we are talking about 2011, and it was given out in 2012. But in these days also, of course, nowadays we see a lot of this COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 related symptoms and disorders, which is taking a lot of lives nowadays. Again, the second wave is being surging, and we all need to be very cautious about it. So we need to understand what is a lifestyle disease. A lifestyle disease is defined as those health problems which are generated due to or those react to the changes in lifestyle of a person. Any non-infectious disease that is caused or promoted by a person's behavior or the choices made by him or her. And one important thing is that all lifestyle risk factors have one common property. They make breathing heavier and decrease the oxygen in the body. Cell hypoxia is the driving force of almost all lifestyle disorders, and that is what we need to keep an eye on. Or there is a huge list of lifestyle diseases, and maybe you can add many more, which are not spread through any microorganisms or which do not spread from one person to another. All such disorders are usually the lifestyle disorders: obesity, diabetes, arteriosclerosis, heart disease, stroke, hypertension, nephritis, cancer, spinal problems, etc. neurological diseases, gynecological problems, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, allergies, hearing problems, depression, anxiety disorders, Alzheimer's, chronic aches and pains, digestive and reproductive problems also. Now today's, with the use of mobiles and with the excessive use of computers, we can talk about the carpal tunnel syndromes, and we can talk about the cervical spondylosis and the problems related to sleep or the sleep disorders and so many other things. There are 6 lifestyle factors usually which affect the normal functioning of human body: the physical activity, the mental well-being, the environment. When we talk about environment, there are 3 aspects we need to understand: the family environment, the work environment, the social environment, and the nature surrounding a person's residence. Then we have to focus on the legitimacy of the sleep and rest, and food and nutrition. Now these are 2 different aspects, because there are certain food which are not nutritious, and there are certain nutritious food which may not be liked as food for some people. So food and nutrition. And then we talk about the substance abuse. Now this substance abuse can be tea or coffee also, and it can be even in higher things, like when you go to tobacco, or you are smoking marijuana, or you are consuming alcohol, or any other narcotic drugs. So substance abuse also makes an important segment when we talk about the factors which are affecting the lifestyle of a person. Ayurveda says that Sharirendriya Sattva Atma Sanyogodhari Jivitam. So a combination of Sharir, that is body, Indriya, the organs, the sensory and the motor, the mind, Sattva, and Atma, the spirit or the soul. When this union of all the 4 keeps on working continuously in a wonderful coordination, that is termed as life. So if anything is missing out of it, suppose if mind is missing out of it, you are sitting before your screen but you are not here, then maybe you will not be able to gather everything what is being discussed upon, even when you are there. So it is not 100%. So we cannot consider that as a part of Hitayu or Sukhayu, as our classics have stated. Again, when we talk about Tridand, it is Sattva, Atma, Shariram. So there is body as one part, but Sattva and Atma make 2 parts. In previous slide also, Sharir makes 1 part, but Atma, Indriya and Sattva make the 3 parts, so out of 4. So it is more than 2/3 majority. Then we come to the motto of Ayurveda. It says that Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam, Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam cha. So first motto happens to be to take care of the health. So promote and propagate and maintain the health of the healthy, and to treat the sufferers or ailing mankind. When we go to Swastha Lakshan also, Samadosha, Samagnisha, Samadhatu, Malakriya, Prasanna Atmendriya Manaswastiti Abhidiyate. So if Samadosha, Samagni, Samadhatu, Malakriya, etc. is there, but if Prasanna, Atma, Indriya and Mana condition is not there, it is very hard to term somebody to be healthy. Again, when we talk of Vyadhi or disease, we know that the reasons for disease production are Pragnapara, Dasatma, Indriyartha, Sanyog and Parinam or Kal. So there also Pragnaparad and Asatmendriyartha Sanyog are 2 main factors. The third one happens to be Kal. So if it goes on repeating, it will definitely generate. And for Pragnaparad, we all know what it has been stated. Dhi dhruti smriti vibrushta karma yat kurute shubham pragnapradotam vidyat sarvadosha prakopanam. So now, when Acharya Charak says about particularly the Vyadhi Sahatva or immune condition of a person's body, can everybody be immunopotent? And Acharya Charak clearly states no. People with ati sthula, ati krusha, or not having proper disposition of the tissues, masa, shonita, asthini, etc. Those who are durbal, that is weak, asatmya ahar upachitani, and those who are nourished by asatmya, apathya, improper food, alpa ahar, less food, and alpa sattva, those who are mentally weak. These people do not have proper potency to save their own selves from approaching diseases. The remaining, those who are against this, samamamsa pramanastu, samsamhanonara, etc., what Acharya Charak has stated, they will be able to keep the diseases away. Dradhendriyo balena na abhibhuyate. That is what he has stated. So now, if the body is not proper, if the internal systems are not working properly, the person will be having less immune capacity also. So then the question is that who can remain disease free? Again, Acharya Charak says, Narohitahar viharasya samikshakari visheshu asakta data sama satyapra kshamavan aptopasevi cha bhavati aroga matir vachah karma sukhanubandham sattvam videyam vishadacha buddhi gnanam tapas tatparta cha yoge yasyastitam nanupatanti rogaha. A person who has hit ahar, that means beneficial food, hit ahar, who is doing the beneficial vihar regularly, samikshakari, who is analytical about one's deeds, vishayesu asaktaha, who is not driven by the indriyartha or the objects of the sense organs, data, who is a donor, sama, who is balanced, satyapara, who is truthful, Kshamavan, who has a forgiving nature, Aptopasevi, who is respectful towards the elders, Cha Bhavati Aroga, will remain disease free. Matir Vachaha Karma Sukhanubandham, a person's intellect, speech, and actions which can generate only sukha or positivity. Sattvam Videyam, who has again an optimistic outlook. Vishadacha Buddhi, a very clear intellect. Gnanam tapas tatparata cha yoge, who has knowledge, who is always ready for penance or tapas or getting to the goal despite of all the difficulties, having that clear conscience. Tatparata cha yoge, who is ready to do yoga. These type of people will not be suffering from diseases. A similar thing has been stated by Ashtanga. I am not repeating. Srimad Bhagavad Gita also says similar thing. Yuktahar viharasya yukta chishtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Yuktahar, yukta vihar, yukta chishtasya karmasu. Now see, these are two things which Srimad Bhagavad Gita states. That having yukta chesta in karma, that means we are doing karma, the karma may be good, but with which chesta or which type of chesta we have been doing. When we will be talking about Sadvrutta, these aspects will also be dealt with. So yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya, having yukta swapna, that means proper sleep and proper time of wakefulness. Yogo bhavati dukkha, combination of all these removes the pains or sufferings of a person. Or somebody has also translated it saying that if you are doing all these things properly, then if you practice yoga, it will be successful. So Ayurveda is a science which is from womb to tomb for everybody. And for health promotion and maintenance, it has stated Dincharya, Ratricharya, Rutucharya, Sadvrutta, Anusthana. They have used the word Anusthana, that is very important. Vegadharana, Adharana, Ashtav Ninditya, Ahar Vidhi, Rasayana, etc. concepts. But we know that our mind is very mysterious and it is also very mischievous. So what happens that our indriyas, our mana does not stay continuously on the given path. We all know that when we are said to be attentive for 40 minutes, we all know for ourselves that for how many minutes actually we remain attentive. It would be hardly 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. I don't say that nobody does that. Somebody would be remaining attentive for even 40 minutes, but very less of them. So why we require Sadvritta and what is Sadvritta? Now, if we dissect Sadvritta, it is true, right, noble, excellent, virtuous or wise, and Vrittam, that is Achara, according to Chakrapani ji commenting on Charak Sharir, one sloka, I forgot the number right now. So Vrittam is Achara, that is the conduct. So the noble conduct or the virtuous conduct or the wise or the true or the right conduct can be translated as Sadvritta. And why Sadvritta? Sampadayatyartha dvayam arogya mindriya vijaya cheti. That is what Acharya Charak says. That it gives you or it promotes the condition of health. But not only that, it helps to control over the indriyas. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun tells Lord Shri Krishna that Indriyani pramathini harati me prasubham manah. The indriyas or the sense organs as well as the motor organs, particularly the sense organs, are very important because they move towards the sense objects, and it is very hard to save those indriyas going towards the sense object. So Indriyani pramathini, they churn out my mind. My stable mind also is churned out, and therefore we can understand the condition of a common person with the journals like mobiles in hand today, how easy it would be to get the minds churned and move away from their focus and goal. So that is why Acharya has talked about Sadvritta. So now when we talk of Sadvritta, it starts from verse 17 to 30 actually. And in Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya, Indriya Upakramaniya, you see, where he has stated about Sadvritta, because every action we do through our indriyas, whether it may be the sense organs or it may be motor organs. And for first we sense the things through our sense organs, then the inputs are analyzed and the actions and the functions are decided at the level of the brain, and then the motor organs put it into practice. So I just tried to roughly ascertain the Sadvritta aphorisms, that how many could be related to what, and the number which I have stated over here is not at all a final number. It is just an approximate number, and very, very approximate number, because in one line there are 4, 5, 7, 8 things stated together. So maybe sometimes it has been counted as one over here. So likewise, when we talk about the notions related to personal hygiene, there are around 32 such aspects, just like Dvau Kalau Apaspushet. So you should take a bath twice. Does anybody need to explain in today's condition? You know, where even government says that whenever you come home from after going anywhere, have a bath before doing anything else. Our classics have clearly stated bath twice a day. Or it says Malayaneshu Abhikshanam. So you should clean your external orifices, or Padayo Vaimalyam Adadyat, or you should clean your feet regularly. Tripakshasya keshes mashru lom nakam samharyet. So just get your hair cut and shaving, etc. thrice in 15 days, etc., etc. These are the aspects which are related to the personal hygiene which have been stated. There are many more such things, just as Kuchalasti Kantaka Amedya Kesha Tush Utkara Bhasma Kapala Snana Bali Bhuminam Pariharta. I won't go in detail, but one thing, don't go into the place which is usually used for bathing. So it is like to save yourself from so many things. You can have a great fall also, because those places are usually slippery. So you can have a fall, you can break your bones, or you can come back home with the impurities. Even with regards to COVID, it is stated that the microorganisms pass through the stools and urine of the patient also. The droplets are also over there. It is a droplet infection. But anyway, we have to be cautious enough. So personal hygiene. Then comes the aspect of behavior, that you should take care of your behavior. Like one thing which has been stated is sadhu vesha. Sadhu vesha, that does not mean that you should be dressed like an ascetic. Sadhu here tends to mean good. So you should be dressed good. You should have good clothes to wear. It should be clean. It should not be ugly. It should not be torn. When we talk about our social health, and when we talk about the people thinking about us, because when you are talking about the work culture, when you are talking about the social culture, these things are related with each other. And if a person is not good looking, there will be loose comments being passed. And when loose comments are being passed, it will affect you when you listen to them, and it will adversely affect your mental status. That mental status will reflect on your physical status. Ultimately, shariram sattvam anuvidiyate sattvam cha sariram. So that is how it will happen, and it can result in disorders. Why? Because you will be changing your lifestyle unknowingly. Many times what happens, that we change our lifestyle while knowing that we are changing it. And many times we just do not know that the lifestyle which we are acquiring, or the lifestyle which you are practicing, is not good for us. So likewise, the behavior, personal hygiene. Then comes about the studies. Say for example, because this happens to be a classic, when the studies were not done in the formal way we are doing it today, through internet or through computers or through mobiles. There the study was supposed to be done before the expert or teacher. And there the study used to mean that you will be chanting whatever you are studying, and when you are chanting, how you are supposed to chant. Okay, if we forget the aspect of chanting, let us focus on the aspect of speech, and let us focus on the aspect of pronunciations. If we look today at the pronunciations of the people, the pronunciations are very dirty. Please don't mind me saying that. The pronunciations are not clear, whether it may be Gujarati, whether it may be English, whether it may be Hindi, whether it may be Sanskrit, whether it may be any language. We have become kind of we are taking it for granted. So we are not clear about the pronunciations. And let me tell you that the clear pronunciations have got a physical benefit. Clear pronunciations has got relationship with your health status. So if we can do it in a correct way, in a correct manner, then the body can remain healthy. We will be less troubled by the lifestyle disorders. You know that when you are speaking, it affects your Agni first of all. Just try to focus on the physiology of speech production according to Panini. Okay, then we talk about spiritual upliftment. We are talking about spiritual aspect. We are talking about mental aspect. 19 aspects are related to spiritual upliftment, 22 are related to mental health, 24 are related to social health, as to how you should behave in the society. It's like, you should be the starter of the conversation. You should go and console the people who are suffering. You should not take any decisions when you are angry or when you are very happy, etc., etc. 31 aspects are related to food and eating, as to how you should eat, where you should sit, how you should sit. then what else you should take care of? Like you should take care of your elders, you should take care of the pets, that is the cows and the dogs and the people who are depending on you, your dependents. There are 8 aspects which are related to etiquettes as to how you should be, just as no, today because of COVID, people say that you don't put your fingers in your nostrils. In Sadvrutta, it has been clearly stated that don't put your fingers in your nose. Nasa kushniyat, it has been stated. Then when to remove, how to remove your urges has been stated. You should not be urinating on the roads. You should not be urinating towards the elders or sun and moon and gods and important places, etc. There are 25 aspects which are related to copulation, how one should copulate, with whom one should copulate, etc. 5 are related to eco-friendliness, that okay, do not dig the earth unnecessarily, do not break the grass, do not break the bolus of the mud, or do not break the stones unnecessarily. This all is to save the environment surrounding you, and there are 43 aspects which are miscellaneous, which can be understood with regards to healthy living, healthy thinking, healthy spiritual upliftment. Then comes the aspect of Achara Rasayana. This Sadvritta has been dealt with in very much of detail, and it is not possible to talk about Sadvritta in just 1 hour or 40 minutes. I would like to chant these verses, they are wonderful things because it is kind of Sadvritta in nutshell. Satyavadinam akrodham nivrutam madhyamaitunat hinsakamana prashantam priyavadinam japashauchaparam dhiram dana nityam tapasvinam devago brahmanacharya guru vruddharchane ratam Anushamsasya param nityam karuna vedinam samajagaranam sapnam nityam kshira ghrudashinam deshakala pramanagnam yuktidnam manahankrutam shastacharam asankirnam adhyatma pramanendriyam upasitaram vruddhanam astikanam jitatmanam dharmashastra param vidyan naram nityarasayanam Gunairetai samuditai prayumte yo rasayanam rasayana gunan sarvan yathoktan sa samasnute. If you take care of these things, you follow regularly, what will happen? They will give you the benefits just as the Rasayan would give. And one more thing, as the substances which rejuvenate, which generate good rasa, because that happens to be the first tissue. So if good rasa is generated and it reaches because of good agni of the kramasha respective dhatus, good tissues will be formulated which will give better oj. So Achar Rasayana says, be truthful, be free from anger, be devoid of indulgence in alcohol and illegitimate sexual conduct, do not indulge in violence, do not indulge in any such work that leads to exhaustion. This is very important. In Sadvritta also it has been stated that if you have exercised or exhausted yourself once, do not repeat the same thing. And today when we see, in order of burning out the calories, people are working out every now and then, and unfortunately what happens, it may result in excessive vata aggravation, which can lead to problems. No, we are talking about lifestyle problems. So be peaceful, have pleasant speech, practice japa so that you can focus and concentrate and have some time for yourself. Even Patanjali says this, keep cleanliness and purity, have patience, be regularly practicing charity so that you can have a bigger heart. I am not talking of cardiomegaly though. To be practicing tapas, to be respectful and offering prayers to gods, cows, brahmins, teachers, preceptors and elderly, to be free from cruelty, compassionate always, to have balance and regularity in working and sleep, consuming milk and ghee regularly so that nutritive diet will go. In short, if we are going to keep our life to all righteous things, what will happen, as Acharya Charak has said, Nagari Nagarasyeva Rathasyeva Rathi Tatha Yatha, Swasharirasya Medhavi Krutyeshva Vihito Bhavet. So if a person needs to keep oneself healthy and not fall a victim to lifestyle disorders, he himself has to plan his lifestyle in a way that it will not generate any problems. For that, he has to be doing one's own swadhyaya, analytical, and accordingly he has to do all those righteous things which have been stated under the caption of Sadvritta and Aachar Rasayan in our classics. I think my time is over, so once again I wish you a very healthy and fair World Health Day. Thanks once again for calling me for this deliverance, and I hope I have been able to justify the topic given to me. Kritagnosmi Bhavan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call our dynamic director, Dr. C.H. Babaria, sir, for presidential address.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's up? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and it was my pleasure to be with you all.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Respected guest speaker with the Arpan Bhatt sir and my dear colleagues. On the occasion of World Health Day, we have arranged this lecture from an eminent personality in the field of Ayurveda, to be precise in Department of SWASTHAVRITTA and Yoga. Due to the current pandemic scenario of COVID-19 virus, almost all the sectors of the society understood the importance of health in true sense, and everyone is eager to achieve it and maintain it. Though this concept of maintenance of health is not new for Ayurveda, the whole emphasis of Ayurveda, in the first place, is to maintain the health of a healthy individual, for which various remedies have been prescribed at both psychosomatic level. Now it's time, as well as our responsibility, to guide and spread the awareness among the world in maintaining the health. And when we say health, we are talking about the psychosomatic health. Just Acharya Sushruta wrote that in the 15 chapters. Okay, and it was our pleasure to hear about this from a personality like Arpan Bhatt sir, who have expertise on this domain of knowledge. I feel in the true sense, our pathy can be a flag bearer of health maintenance, as we have loads of share regarding it. And this is the golden opportunity for us to play the key role. On this eve, I would like to thank Dr. Arpan Bhatt for accepting our invitation and delivering a thought-provoking lecture on burning issue like lifestyle disorder and their prevention through Sadvritta and Aachar Rasayan. We wish to hear more from you, sir, in current future. Hope you will always extend your support and will keep on motivating and enlightening us in the coming future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Always yours.
Yes, thank you. Yes, all to Sapna, Dr. Sapna.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for vote of thanks. On behalf of Department of SWASTHAVRITTA, GJPIASR, it's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this delightful occasion. I would like to thank the torchbearer of this event, Honorable Chairman, Engineer Sri Bikubai Patel, respected Sri Manishbhai Patel, Vice President of CVM, beloved Dr. S.G. Patel sir, Secretary CVM Sri Mehulbhai Patel sir, Joint Secretary CVM and all dignitaries of CVM and CVM University for supporting, inspiring us for this webinar. My heart fills with lot of gratitude and respect for our distinguished guest speaker, Vaidya Arpan Bhatt sir, for not only sparing their precious time to grace this occasion, but also for enlightening us with their commendable talk on the subject. Thank you, sir, for clearing our concepts and enhancing our understanding pertaining to the, the SWASTHAVRITTA and Aachar Rasayan as a preventive measures for lifestyle disorders. On behalf of GJPIASR family and the entire CVM University, every heart vote of thanks to our respected delegates, special guest in the audience. Let me call it fraternity of Ayurveda here together. Above and beyond, let's not forget the backbone of this webinar, Dr. C.H. Babaria, Director of GJPIASR, made this dream a reality. Thank you so much, sir. Special thanks to Dr. Sulakshana, Head Department of SWASTHAVRITTA, for her inspiration and guidance. Also thanks to Dr. Sanjay sir for this support. Lot of thanks to Extension Set of GJPISR and Mr. Mihir Patel for their passionate efforts. Thank you one all.